guys, it's Ree and I'm back with another video today. Thanks for coming back to Ree TV. I appreciate all your views. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe so that you can get all of the news, all of the updates that I'm going to be bringing you guys in the next few months. So today I am going to be talking about nursing in the nursing field. How I became a nurse, what steps I took, and hopefully you will gain something from that if you are maybe in the nursing field and looking to advance your career, if you are maybe thinking about going into nursing school and want to know what steps you need to take to get there. So, first of all, I am a cardiac nurse, cardiac ICU nurse. I have been a nurse almost 8 years now. It'll be 8 years in January 2020. So, yay! I think getting over that 5 to 6 year hump was very trying, but we are just rumping and rolling. We are keeping it moving, and I couldn't be happier with my career choice right now. A lot of people have sent me messages, emails, texts, asking me how I got in the nursing field and how I got into school. So I never thought I was going to be a nurse when I first, back in 2012, when I first got into school. I thought about nursing as a career field, but I also was kind of like into business and finance, and I just really didn't know which way to go. And on top of all of that, I dropped out of school when I was 18. I did obtain my GED, so I never thought that I could even get into nursing with a GED. But lo and behold, here I am with my bachelor's degree and hopefully moving forward with ongoing education, although I don't know which path I'm really going to take at this point, but it will be something. So I do have my bachelor's degree right now. I started off nursing in a hospital-based program. Actually, I was a CNA first. So, certified nursing assistant. That is also called a patient care technician or a patient care associate, whatever your facility may call them. Those are really, between the CNAs and the nurses, those are really like the heart and soul of the healthcare industry, in my opinion, although I'm biased. CNAs are responsible for making sure that patients are cared for, making sure that we provide dignity, respect, and being culturally aware of how to provide safe and competent care. Certified nursing assistants, CNAs, are a nurse's best friend. They help bathe, feed, they help get patients up in the morning, they help patients get ready for bed, they are there to help get people up and get people moving. They are there to kind of be the backup needed for a nurse to be able to successfully perform their job. So I was a CNA first, and I did that for about a year. As you know, CNAs typically can have anywhere between 14 and 30 patients, sometimes even more depending on the facility you work in. But that's a lot of patients to take care of, and when it's just you getting people up, getting people bathed, getting people dressed and into a chair, it's a lot. It takes a lot, and it takes a toll on one's body. So I knew that that wasn't going to be a long-term goal for me, because I really like to be more in charge of the way I care for patients. So it's a good stepping stone, though. Great way to get into nursing and how to start on your career field, because if you can't handle that, you're not going to be able to handle being a nurse. Fast forward about a year, I got into nursing school, which was a hospital-based program. I had to test into that. For this particular program that I got into, I had to take an entrance exam and also some prerequisites as well. The entrance exam at the time was approximately 100 questions. You had to score at least a 76 think it was a 76%. And it was questions surrounded on nutrition, science, and math. I think there were also some questions, like random questions about, also reading and comprehension was a big part of those tests. But I think there were also some random questions about engineering or something or other, but it was more or less to kind of think of your mind frame and see what your thought process was. So I took the entrance exam, got into a hospital-based program. It was a 2-year program, but I did have to prepare for the entrance exam, being that I got a GED. You can get into nursing school with a GED. I didn't finish high school. I did get my GED, and in order for me to get into nursing school, I had to take some classes, kind of just to refresh myself and get up to speed and make sure I was on the same page as everyone else. So the classes that I took, I went to community college. I took biology. I took algebra 1 and 2, and I also took nutrition. I took psychology too. So those were some of the courses that really helped me with the entrance exam to get in. And then once I got into nursing school, it was a 2-year program that was very rigorous because it was fast-paced, and they kind of jumble up, they kind of like compress 4 years of education and what some people get 4 years of college for into 2 years. It was actually 22 months. So I got my diploma from that hospital-based program, and I will always support hospital-based nursing programs because of the experience that I gained while I was in it. If you don't have a lot of money, if you are not coming from an affluent background, hospital-based programs really give you the bang for your buck, because you don't have to come out with $40,000-$50,000 just to get into school like some university-based programs. Nothing against university-based programs, but that just wasn't something that I was able to do at the time. So, 2-year program, I got in. It was, like I said, it was very tough. It was a tough program, but it kind of broke me down and rebuilt me into the person that I was supposed to be. I was a very much know-it-all before I got into school. I thought I knew everything, and I really knew nothing. It taught me a lot about my study habits, and it taught me a lot about communication and how I communicate with people, and how I really about verbal and nonverbal communication and how I come off to people. So that was important in changing my personality. Excuse the dog down the street. I can't take it. So, I really enjoyed the program that I was in. I made a lot of lifelong connections with people that gave me professors that gave me recommendations moving forward to help me get jobs and things like that. So it was, I think, one of the most life-changing experiences I ever went through. And at the same time, I had gotten married, and I actually got married on 2 weeks before I started nursing school, and I just had my second daughter. So adding that on top of school, and it was, if I didn't have family support, if I didn't have my mom, my mother-in-law, my dad, my brother, my friends, I don't know how I would have made it through. But we got there. We got there, sis. So, following nursing school, I did work for about a year and a half in different inpatient settings. My first year I did a lot of step down. It was med-surg, which you have to do med-surg out of school. You really have to. It's like the ground level. It sets the foundation for all of your nursing career, in my opinion. It gave me a great deal of assessment skills. It allowed me to learn about communication with doctors, with other nurses, and just learning and putting everything I learned from school together so that I could become a better nurse. So I would sincerely recommend going into med-surg first, fresh out of nursing school. Can you go into a clinic? Can you go to an OR? Can you, you can do anything you want to, really, but I wouldn't recommend it because you'll get there and people are expecting you to know your stuff. People are expecting to give you your 6 weeks of orientation and for you to be able to work on your own independently. And if you are starting off in one of those other settings, having skipped the step of learning how to assess, learning how to take orders, make phone calls, do the basic things, then you are setting yourself up for failure. Just my opinion. I don't want to discourage anybody. If that's what you want to do, please, by all means, do that. But you remember, I said it. Hard head makes us off behind, like my parents used to tell me. But from med-surg, I got into many other things in my career. About a year and a half after graduating from school, I got back into a university program, which was in partnership with my original nursing school. So I got a ton of discounts. I got to do my program in about 6.5 months. It was completely online. I think it was about 20 classes. 20 credits. It was about 6 to 8 classes, which gave me that second layer of education, which you would get in a 4-year program anyway. But it completely was a service to me because I learned about those other vulnerable populations, about cultural competence, about the elderly, end-of-life and palliative care, hospice. I also learned about the financial part of nursing, which was like the billing, learning how hospitals staff and why we're always short-staffed, learning about the Affordable Care Act and how insurance determines and how your level of care determines what payments hospitals receive, etc. So there was a lot of education that I received getting a bachelor's. It's not currently mandated for nurses to have a bachelor's degree, but you do get, I think, more opportunities. You end up being able to bargain for higher pay, and it just opens up where you can work at in the nursing field. So you can work outpatient, you can work inpatient, you can do psych, you can do peds, you can do ER, you can do ICU. There's just so much that you can do. You can work in the community like I did. You can work at nursing homes and be a supervisor. So it's really based on, it's all what you make it and what you plan to do. I will just make a few recommendations. If you love taking care of people, if you have a quest for knowledge, by all means get into this nursing field. But do not do it for the money, because the money seems great. It seems great to make $20, $30 an hour, upwards of that. It seems great, but it's a lot of hard work. You are constantly having to continue your education. You are constantly having to be trained on new policies, new procedures, new equipment, new regulations, and it's very demanding on the psyche, depending on what part of nursing you focus on. People who are in hospice palliative care, you got to definitely take care of yourself mentally as well as psych. If you're taking care of patients who are critically ill, like what I do, I have to that's why I'm here on YouTube. To be honest with you, you have to have something to take your mind away from some of the bad things that you see, so that you can focus your energy into the good things that you could do for people. That's the best way I could describe it. So been in the ICU. I've done a lot. I have a lot more to do. Am I going to go back to school? I already started a DNP program, but I only did one semester, and I did really well, but it's a lot of money to get your doctorate, and I don't know if my commitment is there to take out that much more debt. But in any event, I will have to continue my education if I want to do anything else, because everything else will be a lateral move for me. So if you have any questions, have any concerns, have anything you want to ask me, hit me up on my social media. You can hit me up here. You could drop a comment on YouTube. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at __TV. You can also send me a message on Facebook. My profile is public, Hamlin, Hamlin. And if there's anything that I could do, any resource that I could provide, any encouragement that you need, any kick in the pants that you might need, anything that I can do to help you along your way to becoming a nurse, please allow me to do that. Reach out to me. I am asking you to, so make sure you use it. And I'm going to be coming back, posting more blogs about nursing. Maybe might do some different little education things. I don't know yet. But in any event, I appreciate you for watching and indulging me. This video went a little bit longer than I hoped it would, but I had a lot to say. So thank you for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Follow me on social media, and I will be back soon with another video. Thanks for visiting TV. I'll catch you on the next one.